Hey and welcome back to Dax.Overland. My name is Max and in this week's episode I will continue getting our G back on the road. 2 weeks ago I was at inspection and it had a few major problems that need to be addressed. More on that in last week's episode. It's up there or there, and here's the to-do again. So crossbeams, body consoles, various rust holes, and a problem with the windscreen wipers. I don't know what the issue is there. Danya and I traveled for almost a year in our G that we converted around 5 years ago. Also, the last time we did major work on it. I hate to admit it, but it's time now for the rust I didn't remove back then. After the trip, we decided to build a new rig from scratch, the Iveco. So once the G is ready again, I will continue with the scheduled program and continue building our Overlander based on the Iveco. And trust me, I would love to continue there instead of welding this thing. But as long as we own it, it needs some love as well. So I've got all my new parts here. I will start by cutting off the frame rail now and dig my way in there and then hopefully quickly build it back up. I will start with this side because it's still the original from factory and the other side was done in Turkey 2 years ago and it's pretty bad. I will do it as well. The tube is crooked, like nothing was properly done on that other side. So we'll start here, take measurements here, and then hopefully have everything I need for the other side as well. So let's cut it off. It's always scary, those big projects, because if I miss something, I can measure it, but it's not ideal to measure it again afterwards when it's already off. I will use the plasma cutter. So let's go. I'm scared. Okay, let's go. Yes, it was a fuse, so let's continue. So here you have it in all its glory. It's 40-year-old metal of a car that was in the Austrian military and is in Germany for a few years now. And I think this construction, it's impossible that it doesn't rust. So here you have the old part and you have that cup kind of design. And I think if you use your G-Wagon as it's supposed to be used, you can't clean it as much as it needs to be cleaned to not be rusty. And here is the new part. So here you have the cup and this is the mount to the rail, and here in between you will have all the rust. So here's everything new now. The frame, pipe, rail, the stabilizer mount and the console. Hopefully this will be my last big job on this car. A friend recently said it's supposed to be like that, so it will be easier to let the car go. And I think she's right. I was really hoping that I wouldn't need to remove more, but the prop shaft is in the way to remove more of that tube so that I can knock it through. So I need to remove the So here it is, the last piece that was still stuck in the frame. And all of this looks quite alright. There is no rust. I will check the frame inside now, but I think the frames itself are not the problem with Mercedes. It's just those kind of constructions on the outside. Because also often people complain how bad the quality of those old Mercedes is, like body-wise. But I think that's actually not true. It's just 40 years old, and if it was used properly, it was always wet and dirty, basically. So I don't know if any car would last, actually. Also the frame in there, I think everything looks really alright. As far as I know, Mercedes also used some wax or whatever on the inside of the frames from factory, so they are fine actually. I'm finally getting to the point that everything comes back together now. It was so much work over the last days, but I think now, at least for me, the more fun part starts. So I replaced tons of sheet metal that was rusted through, and now I will start replacing those parts that I bought. Here I replaced this reinforcement. I will weld it back onto this console. I replaced rusty parts that were beneath the fender. And down here I replaced the fender as well and attached a new reinforcement in there. And I will weld this cross beam, or whatever you would call it, onto that reinforcement. Even though this is the fun part because it's brand new parts that are supposed to fit properly, this is also a really critical part, because if I do something wrong, the body won't fit onto the frame again, because the bolt to the frame will go through here. So this is a little bit scary. I took some measurements and give my best to figure it out, but it's not easy. So I've almost finished welding all of this. I welded in this reinforcement. This is in. There's only a few spot welds left basically. And I continued welding this together. That goes on here. The other way around. Something like this. And now, really critical point, I will spot weld those two on there, and hopefully I will get all the angles and everything right. And then I'm nearing the end line of this job, at least for this side. So those are welded on with a few spots. I will go through it now. It's really hard because it looks like on the old one as if there was some kind of angle between them, but it's really hard to see because everything is so rusty, and the guy in Turkey welded on some sheet metal as a reinforcement. So it's hard to tell what the angles are supposed to be, but I think there should be enough possible way to move between all of those parts because of the rubber. First one done on this one, and I always think like the thick material is so much fun. It's like proper welding, but it's also a little bit intimidating, I think, because you can't see if it's properly burned in. But I think this one looks nice. It's a few days after I worked the last time. We had a public holiday. Danya and I went to the Iveco meetup. It was amazing. So many cool people and so many cool cars. And we had public holidays. But because of those kind of things, I couldn't continue with the car. I don't know what day I'm into this one side. I failed my time schedule doing it in time for the re-examination. I need to weld the frame tube on, and then I have a few of those spots. Here I didn't finish this, like the piece is in, but here's a hole, and I have the same on the floor inside. And then hopefully this side will be done. I did the floor here. Those are all the spots from that part that I welded in there in the bottom. I replaced this piece. In here you can see the new part where the rubber mount will go on from the bottom. I cleaned everything now and made the welds a little bit nicer, grinded off some bits, and now I will paint the area that I can't reach anymore once the tube is in. This is really, really thin Nitrofest, and I tried it for the first time yesterday. I poured this super thin liquid into the frame tube and just kind of shaked it around, and it worked so well. And maybe this will go into the cracks as well, because I don't want to wait for the drying time of the overtroll at the moment, because I would need to use it now first. But I think this works really, really well. I'm really surprised. I will test fit the tube now. I will spot weld it in, and for that I will lower the body again. I'm contemplating with that for a while because I really don't want to lower the body and then lift it back up again. But I think it's the safe and good way to check if everything fits before I have this welded in. and recognize that it won't fit. I'm quite relieved actually. This looks quite alright. Like, it doesn't look like anything is majorly wrong, or I couldn't find anything wrong at all so far. So I'm really happy that it looks good. The tube is finally welded in. I'm so happy that this job is done, and I will stop this video for now. I'm already 1 week late with this week's video, so I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next week, hopefully on the Iveco again. Also, I completely forgot to tell you, we are over 500 people on the channel now, so thank you so much for being here, and see you next week.